Today I'm going to reveal the best 5 watch brands you should take a look at in 2025. Let's get into it! Yes, and welcome to the Mad Watch Collector Show. Now this show goes out to all of those watch enthusiasts that have collected their Seikos, their Citizens, Timexes, Tissots, and now want to start delving deeper down this rabbit hole.
Don't do it!
Shut up, you. People ask me all the time, MWC, what are your favourite watch brands? And when you get past the obvious brands like your Seikos, your Casios, a little bit of Rolex, there are a few brands that I absolutely love, that I own and would wholeheartedly recommend them to you guys. My taste in watches may be completely different to yours. I like a really good tool watch. And it doesn't matter if it's a modern look or a vintage look. Now, whether these brands have been going for 20 years or 100 years, they have to have a proper DNA to them. A watch you look at straight away and go, yeah, that's that brand. Obviously, it's all about the looks, but we've all got those watches in our collection that when we put them on our wrist, we go, yeah, you were made for me. And no, the majority of these brands are not going to be affordable, but I'm specifically talking to you right there watching me in the bath. It's a bit weird. You want to put your money into a new brand, a brand to be proud of. And have I got 5 beauties for you? Are you 5 watch brands I'd recommend ready? Let's go! Right straight into it, a German brand, and a brand that have been around for over 100 years. I was very fortunate enough to go to the factory in Germany to see how the watches were assembled and regulated and serviced. And when you go that deep into looking at a watch brand, there's a connect that you just can't unconnect from. Plus, it really did help that everyone there were absolutely lovely. And current CEOs of Hanhart, Felix and Simon, have paved the way for a new era of, I think, chronograph domination. They have brought back the iconic 417 ES flyback chronograph with the red pusher this year, and I think it is an absolute winner. I will go as far as to say it's probably my favourite chronograph of the year. And me in a bunch strap? Are you joking? But hey, it so works, doesn't it? Now, I've handled a few of their watches now, and I have to say, they are some of the best made watches in and around the £1,000 to £2,000 mark. But when each watch is hand assembled at their HQ and the movement inside the watch has been tested
At their HQ,
you know 100% that the product is going to be absolutely perfect when it turns up at your door. Now, Hanhart have a great history of wristwatch making and stopwatch making, and recently they've been coming up with new style watches like the Aquasphere, which I think is an incredible dive watch. All of their pieces use Swiss movements, and this is a brand that are really solidifying their roots to power on the next 100 years. Field watches, dive watches, chronographs, they can cater all your needs, and with their German engineering and customer service and efficientness, with a brand steeped in a hell of a lot of history, sooner or later you're going to own a Hanhart. Mark my words. Next up, a brand I was made aware of. Well, I did know about it a few years ago, but they contacted me a couple of years ago and asked whether I'd wanted to review one of their new divers. It was a skin diver and one that was pretty much a reissue from the late 50s, early 60s. Well, I reviewed it. I absolutely loved it. It made me realize at the time just how much better that was than an Oris Diver 65. We are talking about the brand Vulcain, most notably known for pioneering the mechanical alarm watch called the Cricket back in the 50s. Once again, the brand have been going for a hell of a long time, but the group that recently took control of this brand, well, they've done an absolute amazing job. And with this brand and another brand I'll tell you in a minute, really made me like Swiss watches again. Yeah, I got to be excited about Swiss again and not just be pummeled with another Tissot PRX or a shiny Omega Seamaster.
Life's not all about the Swatch Group, is it?
This brand has the luxury to pick out old references and reissue them in modern technology, but still maintaining their classic vintage looks. I don't think there's many brands out there that can do it as well as Vulcain. And from their beautifully designed skin diver chronograph to their outrageously retro nautical cricket, I have fallen in love with every piece. Another amazing thing I forgot to mention from Hanhart, you know you've got a good company when not only the bracelets, but the straps are phenomenal too. Sometimes it feels companies forget about the straps and concentrate just on the head of the watch, which is all well and good, but if your experience with a strap is just as good as the case, you're onto a huge winner. And that is what I get with all of these brands I'm telling you about today. Very happy that I took the Vulcain Skin Diver GMT on the family holiday to Crete. It was my dressy watch for the evening time. Well, I say evening, we were back indoors by 7 o'clock, but still.
Love having kids.
This brand, like Hanhart, caters for everything. They are missing a field watch though, so I expect one to come soon.
Yes.
Another thing with Vulcain, you know when you like a brand or a watch, you see it on the internet and you really like it. You see it in the shop window and you like it, but put it on your wrist and it's like, oh my, what was I thinking? Vulcain wear how they should. I know it's a weird thing to say, it's a bit stupid thing to say, but trust me, for anyone that owns a Vulcain, know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you are looking for a vintage inspired dive watch or chronograph or GMT with very classic dimensions, Vulcain are an absolute shoo-in. Vertex! Now, if you've been with me for at least 3 weeks, you will know that I am a huge fan of Vertex, a company that was born in the UK. Vertex was a brand that imported Swiss movements, but every other manufacturing part was done in-house. And even though the brand has been around since the early 1900s, it was the 1940s where Vertex solidified their DNA. Take a look at the Caliber 59. One of the watches that was issued to the British military back in the 1940s, World War II. That is, well, I think what Vertex would call their hero watch. So would I too. Unfortunately, due to the quartz crisis in the early 80s, the brand went kaputski, but was brought back to life by a blood relative of the founder, Claude Lyons, and in 2016 brought back that Caliber 59 but in a more modern 40mm size with an absolutely stunning and iconic dial. Using 3-dimensional superluminova blocks, this is the type of signature I'm talking about when you're trying to recognize brands. Since 2016, Don and the Vertex team have brought out several amazing watches that I own, from the M60 Aqua Lion to the MP45 Mono Pusher chronograph. But as you can see, every single Vertex has the same look, has the same feel, just has a soul. There's a connection I can see and I can feel. There's a story to the brand. But Don didn't bring back Vertex just to make money. He brought back the brand as a commemoration. An honor. Every Vertex that goes out the door is the best money can buy. Made in certain Swiss houses, other well-known brands are made. We just can't mention them. So when you see the price tags of these watches, please don't compare them to drop-ship China ones. The sapphire is the best of the best. The steel is. The decorated movement. And if you buy into all of these things around this brand, the value is... Honestly, take a look at Vertex.
Could you just click that like button, please? It really helps the channel. Thank you.
So the last 3 watch brands have been steeped in history. The next brand I'm going to talk about have been going for around 20 odd years, but I've been making giant waves while doing it. Now as you can see from the last 3 brands, I am not much of a lover of modern style. But this brand pretty much changed my opinion
entirely
on Swiss watchmaking, on how unlazy a Swiss brand can be. I obviously give you Formex, and there is a reason so many of us reviewers big them up, because I think their value package outweighs the value price, even in 2025, because not only are their designs unique and exclusive to them, they have many of their own patents that other watch brands don't have, such as the suspension system on their Essence models. This brand has been able to make a product that if any other brand in the Swiss watch world made would probably be double. The CEO has a dad and family that run a factory that makes cases, bracelets, clasps for very high-end brands. I'm talking higher than that, about that high. Formex can take advantage of using the facility, manufacturing these amazingly engineered bracelets and case components and put them all into a very cool package. This brand is always pushing the boundaries, whether it's using unique dials, new patents. I mean, this brand does not sleep. I've come across a hell of a lot of pretenders through the years, but for anyone that is on the fence about buying a Formex, I'm here just to push you off the fence because I think they're phenomenal. Formex! Okay, my final choice of a brand I think you should get into is a company called CWC, otherwise known as the Cabot Watch Company. Now, back in the 70s, CWC were solely on this earth to issue watches to the British military. They were the company that eventually superseded Rolex in 1980, issuing watches to all the Royal Navy divers. And even though they don't issue watches to the British military anymore, maybe one or two references, they are made in a way that makes you feel like you've got an issued watch. I still don't think, to this day, I have ever felt the same opening a watch box and being just in awe. That's what happened to me with this 1980 diver. And even though the packaging isn't amazing, well, I say it's not amazing. It feels like a part of the uniform. And whether it's the field watch, the Vulcain chronograph, or even the DLC black plated SBS diver, these things are incredible. And yes, I know a lot of people don't particularly like the price.
When they look down at the spec sheet and they see the price at the end, it may not match to their eyes.
But there's just something CWC has that a brand that was made tomorrow just will never have. These watches have auras to them. And even though the CWCs that I own were nowhere near battles,
Not even a scuffle.
they still make me feel like I'm part of a team. CWC are solely Swiss made, and the fact that not a hell of a lot of them are made at one time, they do come at a hefty price. But I have never, and I mean never, had anyone complain after buying one. And if they did, they can obviously get their money back. And in some cases, I've seen them being sold for more. When you look at each reference, they look like CWCs. How many brands do you own where if you looked at a field watch, a chronograph, a dive watch, a pilot's watch, would you think they're all the same brand? If you do, that is phenomenal. That shows you what a good brand it is. So there we go, 5 brands that I absolutely love, proudly wear and enjoy them, and 100% recommend them to you lot. Honestly, to me, a watch means more than just the sum of its parts, a spec sheet. I'm not here just to find a watch that's good value for money and £50 cheaper than another competitor. I want to buy into a team. I want to buy into a brand that I can connect with, and I do it with all these 5. But I'd love to know in the comments below, apart from your Seikos, your Citizens, Timexes, are there any brands that you own more than one, and why do you like them? Can't wait to see the comments below. Thank you so much for watching till the end. If you want a bit more of the Mad Watch Collector, we've got a Patreon now. See the shows early, blooper reels, behind the scenes content, private group chat, and get your name credited at the end of every show like this. Lovely. I call them the A-Team. Come on. But if I've got you here for a few more minutes, why don't you click this one? And also watch out next week, because I'm going to do my 5 watches or watch brands to avoid. Tissot won't be in there. Go on, click it. You'll love it. You'll love it. Go on. Oh, Seiko loveliness. Got to click. Click it.